Helping employees overcome their tolerance to safety rules paves the way for them to see their own win for buying into safety. On this week's episode, how tolerance to safety rules may be worse than complacency.
PeopleWork, the human touch in workplace safety. Available everywhere on Amazon. To learn more, go to kevburns.com/peoplework.
You may live in a neighborhood or a community that has a few annoyance problems. Loud muffler vehicles, noisy and nosy neighbors, people who don't clean up after their dogs. They all annoy you. But what are you going to do? Yeah, sure, you wish that people were more respectful and courteous. Heck, even complain to your other neighbors about the carryings on of the disturbers. But you don't have the time or the motivation to take on something that'll take effort, so you tolerate it. Even though you're not alone in your annoyance, it's too big a fight. So what are you going to do? Now, what happens at work when something similar comes up? You get that annoyed at being forced to fill out those paperwork safety forms you swear that no one looks at. You're forced to sit through the same deck of boring PowerPoint slides at safety meetings. You have to endure that one supervisor who has a chip on his shoulder and a badge of authority in his hand. You even complain to your coworkers about the things you're forced to endure, but you don't have the time or the motivation to take on something that'll take effort, so you tolerate it. Even though you're not alone in your annoyance, it's too big a fight. But what are you going to do? Well, that's not complacency. That's tolerance, and tolerance should become a serious consideration for supervisors and safety people. Now, we all know that there has been plenty of talk about the hazards of complacency in safety, and the whole complacency conversation is gaining attention. But when you look at the actual definition of complacency, what you read may surprise you. Here's what the Merriam-Webster dictionary had to say about complacency. Complacency is self-satisfaction, especially when accompanied by unawareness of actual dangers or deficiencies. Let's read that again. Complacency is self-satisfaction, especially when accompanied by unawareness of actual dangers or deficiencies. In other words, when people get comfortable with their performance, they may pay less attention to risks. And when people are satisfied with their performance, there's a risk of complacency. Tolerance, on the other hand, is the willingness to endure the rules and procedures, no matter how annoying they may be or how much you may disagree with something. When safety becomes an annoyance that needs to be tolerated, you're moving away from building a strong safety culture. Now, don't confuse an employee's willingness to abide by safety rules as proof that they buy into safety. Just because they've never had an incident doesn't mean they choose safety as one of their guiding principles. They may simply be tolerating safety rules as a condition of keeping their job. See, the guy who speeds, rolling through the stop signs, and cuts the lawn wearing flip-flops at home doesn't buy into safety. He tolerates rules at work. Truthfully, the threat of punishment for safety violations doesn't change values. It just forces people to tolerate rules. You only have to drive on the highway to see the steady parade of people tapping their brakes to indicate that the police are up ahead. People slow down to the speed limit when they're in front of the cop and then speed up again once they've passed. They tolerate the enforcement of the rules, but don't really buy into the safe thing on their own. Just because you educate them in safety doesn't mean they'll choose safety in every situation. Education alone doesn't change values. Education, experience, coaching, and new ideas help build a foundation for safety buy-in. When you help your good people to positively change their perspective of what safety really is, they're more encouraged to buy into safety for themselves. Then they become the leaders in safety, helping safety people and supervisors to improve the safety culture. But not every employee has the same values in safety. Not every employee acts the same, performs the same, communicates the same, or responds the same. Safety buy-in doesn't work with blanket approaches. Each employee has a different reason for tolerating some parts of the safety program. They each view supervisors or safety people in different ways. Each employee will buy into safety for different reasons. Supervisors and safety people have to acquire the skills to be able to help employees find their win for buying into safety, not just to avoid a loss. Now, what I mean by that is that safety is usually presented as a thing that stops a loss. You know, an injury, a strain, a sprain, a broken bone, a cut, or worst case, death. And you hear the safety people telling you to stick with safety or that might happen to you. Might. But then again, might not and probably won't, unless you're taking a really dumb chance. Safety doesn't sell itself well by telling you what you might not get. You might not get hurt. Well, you're not hurt now. You see, safety has to become more definitive in order for people to stop tolerating it and to start embracing it. You don't buy into planning for retirement to avoid a loss. You don't go get an education to avoid a loss. You don't acquire new skills to avoid a loss. You do these things for the payoff you're going to get from doing it. If we want to stop people who simply tolerate safety rules and instead turn them into safety leaders who embrace the safety program, we'd better figure out their win for getting on board with safety. But let's be clear. The win is not the avoidance of a potential loss. The win has to be certain. Real buy-in to safety happens when safety is embraced as a personal value and a guiding principle. And until employees embrace the safety program, they're only going to tolerate safety rules. That will necessitate being policed into compliance. To change this, ensure your frontline supervisors, managers, and safety people get proper management skills development. Mentoring, coaching, and teamwork building skills help build a better focus on safety culture. Helping employees overcome their tolerance to safety rules paves the way for them to see their own win for buying into safety. And when buy-in occurs, the need for enforcement all but disappears. Coaching and mentoring take its place. Engagement levels rise, and engagement helps to overcome complacency in safety. Where there's no complacency, there's only a concentration on improvement. Help build more safety leaders among your crews. Engage each employee one-on-one. It'll take some time, but it'll be worth it.